All right, before we get started, I just want to thank our sponsors for today, CompareWise. So they are the leaders in health insurance comparison services. So thank you, CompareWise. And we have the amazing Majak Daw with us today. I'm so grateful that you are here with us. Thank you.
No, it's my pleasure.
It's been a while since we've tried to make this work or tried to just have a coffee, and it's always, you're a busy man.
No, it's, I'm glad it's worked out. Just been a little bit busy, but
I know.
I am excited. Yeah.
That's so good. All right, so to get things started, I just want to give a little bit of a background before we start. So you were born in Sudan, 91.
Yep.
Yeah. And then you fled the civil war there, came to Melbourne. Did you start in Melbourne? Did you come to Melbourne first?
Yeah, come straight to Melbourne.
At 12 years old?
11, yeah.
12 years old. Where were you living first when you came here?
We moved to Maidstone, like just in the western suburbs.
Okay.
And then Taylor's Lakes.
Moved around?
And settled down at Werribee. So I've lived in so many places over the years.
Okay, and you've got 9 brothers and sisters?
Yeah, big family.
Huge family.
Yeah. 5 boys and 4 girls. And
where do you sit in that?
Third eldest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So you were the very first, I love this label, but you were the very first Sudanese person to be drafted into the AFL.
Yeah.
And you were 18 years old?
Yeah, straight out of high school.
Do you look at that as an honour?
I think at the time I was just too young and I just wanted to play football.
Okay.
I didn't really understand it, but like, because now that I'm retired, it's something I'm really proud of, and just seeing the others that have followed in my footsteps.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things no one will ever take away from me. So.
Well, you set a standard.
Huh?
Like you set a standard. You've paved the way.
I was so clunky at the start, you know.
Were you? What do you mean by clunky?
Straight out of high school, move out of home, learning how to cook.
Wait, you cook?
Yeah. Oh, who's going to feed me?
What's your speciality?
A bit of everything, really. Like
Okay.
just simple stuff at the start, but then start experimenting a little bit, and I guess living in the share house with some players and
Yeah,
doing
okay.
their rotations. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So, and you're known for winning the 2016 AFL Mark of the Year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And a career, it says, defined by resilience.
Yeah.
Is that how you would define it?
I think so. Just a lot of injuries over the years, not being able to get a game, and just honing on my craft in the VFL and other players ahead of me. But it's one I'm proud of. But I think I missed out on 170 games just through injury.
Okay.
Yeah.
Geez, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. So,
How do you prevent yourself from?
I don't know. Yeah.
I guess it's a thing. It's a pretty rough sport. Yeah. Okay.
So.
And you've also openly discussed your mental health battle.
Yep.
And now you're really passionate about being an advocate for that space and helping youth and the community, which I find so admirable. So, and we need more people like you that have gone through it and that now can, I guess, live to tell their story.
I think even just coming to the industry, playing AFL footy, it was nothing people really spoke about, and it's a pretty male-dominated sport. I think just we had education around mental health, but it was never in depth. And I guess the injuries, other challenges, being a rookie, not playing on a regular basis, and just the inconsistencies, and not knowing what I was going through, and I guess really not having the courage to speak to my coach is a really supportive individual, but just the ego side of things, and I don't want to be looked at as a weak individual if I did share that and get the right help. But I guess once I did, and I did learn the hard way with my injuries from rehab, and took me 2 years to come back and play. So I did really miss it, and there were days when I was just in the gym when everyone else was training outside, and really taught me about being patient. And
Do you feel like that journey, so all of these injuries, is what led you to having those mental health challenges. So, or do you feel like it was something that had happened before you started AFL?
Look, I mean, traumas of the past, what my family went through, in particular my dad. And I guess, instability within our relationship and stuff like that. And just a combination of things. Yeah.
When you say instability with relationship with dad, what do you mean?
Look, I guess he went through a period of time back in Africa. You know, he got arrested. Helping other people in terms of young kids being abducted to become child soldiers. So that's one of the reasons why we ended up leaving. And I guess, living in Egypt for 3 years, that was pretty hard. Trying to obtain a refugee visa to come to Australia. And so that was a process in itself. But subconsciously, you don't think of those stuff as hardship when you're pretty young. Your parents are always shielding you. So when I say, it's a combination of stuff, yeah.
And what's your relationship with dad now?
Yeah, pretty good. He was pretty upset when I didn't open up to him and tell him this is what I was going through. In particular, when I was in hospital after the Balti Bridge incident. Because I guess as a father now, I'd like to think my child would come and speak to me if you needed some support. And I guess there's no other better people than my parents. Imagine having 9 kids traveling around the world. They've been through a lot to give me the right advice, but I guess a little bit young and didn't really understand too much. So.
Do you feel like your dad's a bit more open now to, I guess, mental health, that mental health is actually a thing?
Yeah, speaking to him, and it's just like, we know this happens within our people, within our community, and I guess it's made our bond a little bit more stronger. And what I've learned over the journey with my mental health battles is taking the initiatives, calling my parents or popping in to see them. Because there's still that worry in the back of my mind, and when people ask me how you going, you know what I mean. I know there's a meaning behind it, so I just get on the front foot and maybe catch up with them and give them a call, so they're not worrying.
And mum?
Yeah. She's pretty strong. Yeah,
strong woman.
Strong woman. She needs to retire. I don't know how she's still working.
Still working?
Still working, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. And so I guess growing up with 9, as a mother, having 9 children, she's just in go mode. You're a father of 1, a mother of 2, and we just kind of do what we can. We've got so many pressures in our world. And I wonder how, these women, they've got 9 and they just kind of keep on going.
Yeah, I don't know how she does it. I mean, in particular, when we were at school, all 9 kids at school, in the morning is chaotic at home, and then coming back, school pickups, and then, trying to cook for 11 people.
Same.
I just don't know how she does it, but yeah, she manages it.
I want to talk about the Balti Bridge incident.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about the lead up before that day?
So at the time, me and my partner, we went to Bali, and we had a miscarriage, and I just had a knee surgery. A foot surgery. I think things were really unstable for me, and I guess I just was not ready to deal with loss of a child. I was pretty excited to be a father. So, and then when we came back to Melbourne, we just grew apart. I was drinking heavily, going out a lot, and it was something that we both needed to address. But I guess we didn't really support each other that well. And there was one time we had a fracture, and I was drinking pretty heavily at that time, and I thought it'd be a good idea, to drive my car, and I didn't hesitate at all at the time. But Yeah, I regret the decision straight away because what came with it was a long rehab process. Broke my pelvis and broke my back. So spent Christmas Day in hospital. I was there for 3 months, and
This was December 2018.
yeah. And one of the biggest realizations for me, I couldn't hide anymore. I'm very visible as it is, but even I had I was limping everywhere I went, and there'd be eyes on me, and but I guess just being in the rehab pool with the elderly, 70-year-olds with
You don't
broken
belong
hips
there.
and stuff, I'm like, "No, I don't belong here at all." So, but I guess I'm pretty lucky, to be honest, because I know a lot of people don't get the chance that I do, and that's why I'm really passionate about mental health, because I think everyone knows a friend or anyone that's gone through a similar thing, and they've been successful. So,
And that's it. The stats are 3,000 Australians die by suicide a year.
yeah,
And then out of every 4, there's 3 that are males.
yeah, it's a lot, isn't
And this
it?
is something that I'm going to actually get really emotional about this, but I'm really passionate about this because I think that men really struggle to talk, and, and it's just, if they just opened a conversation, there's so much help that can be presented from something as simple as that. And you've got a son and I've got a son too, and I always worry about that generation, and I worry about what the support that they have. And I'm just so grateful that you are speaking about it.
It does, isn't it? It does really open your eyes when you become a parent. And I think coming back to the footy club after such a long time, my teammates were so happy to see me, and I did miss being around the boys, and it was good to come back, and I guess just the support and, the conversations that unfolded from there, it was incredible. So,
have you felt that by you opening up and sharing that other people that have thought of taking their lives have listened to your story and gone, I'm not going to do it?
Yeah, there's a lot of people, even through social media, people messaging you, and it's like, because of you, now I'm getting some help, and it's quite humbling. It's because it's a ripple effect, right? They might go and help someone else, and hopefully that's how the change starts.
When did you regret it? Like, was there a moment? Because I have actually read a little bit that as soon as you took that step, you regretted it. Is that?
Yeah. Looking back now, trying to hold back onto the rail, but it's way too late. So, it's one of those things. Just so lucky, if there is a higher power up there, he saved me. So,
Are you religious?
Yeah, I'm Catholic. Yeah.
Do you believe that God was there that day?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm not Superman, so it's not like I could have done it by myself, So.
I know it's a bit of a weird question, but it's sort of like, because in a different time, it could have been a millisecond that might have looked very different.
Yeah.
I'd think, for me, I'm a Christian too, and I just believe God's present at certain times, and this is meant to be, or meant to be here, and
absolutely,
it's pretty powerful. So when you said you look back at the railing, actually, I want to kind of go back a few minutes before. When you were driving down the Balti, was the intention?
Yeah, that was the intention. Yeah,
to stop.
Yeah, to stop, and obviously you lose your inhibitions, and making good choices. But I was so intoxicated that, so
You didn't think beyond. Had you been thinking about, or did you have a plan of any sort before that day?
Not a plan. I think I just in so much pain. Both physically with the injuries and just, mentally. And I had, it just felt like I was stuck, and how am I going to get myself out of this situation? But, there's always an alternative with these kind of stuff. So like speaking to people close to you, someone you trust. So
So I was, so last year I was school counselling, and one of the things that I guess was quite prominent was the amount of suicidal ideation and the thought of kids wanting to take their life because that is the only option.
Yeah.
Like they actually didn't know anything else. It was for girls, self-harm was massive. It's a trend, which is so sad. But in terms of for boys, I mean, I feel like it's still, even though we're all talking about opening up, it's still a thing that it's like, well, it's the easiest way is just like nobody's going to care. Just take your own life.
I think it's a balance too. I mean, between talking about it and giving those people who are struggling an idea or a choice. And I think it's just around the language. That's what I've learned, how, some of the keynotes that I've done in speaking with adults, I mean, you can be a little bit more open, middle-aged kids, you can word in a different way. And young kids, it's completely different again. So that's what I found over the years, just the balance in the type of language you use when you're speaking about these topics. So,
if you could go back, redo, I'm sure this question's been asked before, but if you could go back, like what would you have done differently in those years before the build-up?
I think, actually just take it serious, and I guess the best thing to do is educate yourself around yourself. I mean, around what your triggers are. Maybe taking time off if things are getting hard, not burning yourself out. And if there are fractured relationships that need to be fixed, I think, do them. Because the ramifications of that, I was about to sign one of the biggest contracts, that are of my career, and that didn't deter me. So it just goes to show how serious it is.
So then what happened after you went into, because like in terms of your physical, so once you, I guess, how did that work? So once you actually landed in the water, what happened from there?
Look, I was down, I was really deep in the water, and it's one of those things, I was like, I just want to live. And then, everything else is a blur from there. Obviously, the emergency rescue staff, they came and got me, took me out the water, and went to hospital, Royal Melbourne. Was in there for about a week and a bit. My parents and the doctors thinking what type of surgery they're going to operate on me, and when I say I was pretty lucky, I didn't have a choice, because I was still in the coma. They were going to put a rod behind my back, and if they did that, I would never play again. I'd probably just walk with crutches or whatever.
So if you were in a coma, did someone make those decisions for you?
Yeah.
Was it parents?
Parents, doctors, and the surgeon. So
that's lucky that they made the right decision.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, because you're playing now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm still playing.
Yeah. So then, you're injured back.
Both pelvis.
Pelvis, yeah. How's your recovery now?
Yeah, good. I've got 2 big rods in my hips.
Okay.
And I had to wait for them to heal. But I remember sitting there in hospital telling my dad, "Hey, look, I want to come back and play footy," and he's like, "You crazy?"
That mindset though, where'd that mindset come from?
I'm just like, well, I'm here now. I might as well, get back on the road to recovery. And I guess for me, is the back of my mind. That's what I've always done best. That's how I saw myself at my best, playing football. So, to build up and to get to come back and play, it went a long way towards my healing process. So.
Who are you outside of footy?
I guess I'm a dad, brother, and a friend. But I don't know. It's interesting. Your identity changes when you retire. I'm just a normal civilian now. Yeah.
Well, you're not normal. Definitely not normal. Your height on its own is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you being a father, you're a single dad, co-parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah, it's tough at times, but amicable,
Good.
you know. But I guess for me, I've got a level of responsibility for him, you know, to always do the right thing. And he's very spoiled, Hendrix. So.
He's beautiful. What a beautiful little man you got there.
Yeah. The thing
How old is he?
5. Started school this year.
He's doing Auskick, isn't he?
Now doing Auskick. Yeah.
Do you watch him and go, yeah, you're going to be in the AFL?
I don't know. It's I don't know. The first session there was a few tears, and I got crunched a couple of times. It was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, yeah.
But in terms of resilience, do you just go too bad?
Go back in, yeah. So.
Because my son's playing footy as well, and I watch him, and I watch that because the resilience, it's a byproduct of the sport, I guess. Because you're getting elbowed, you're getting pushed down, you're getting like thrown around. You've got to get back up, and that sentiment of which is resilience. You fall, you get back up.
I just teaches you controlled aggression, to be honest. Like it's because kids can. I know Hendrix is his only child, and He's never done team sports before. It's always either swimming, karate, and all this stuff. So learning how to share with other kids and not throwing tantrums. So,
do you know? I want to touch on, I guess, because ethnicity, right? Like being Sudanese.
Yeah.
Hendrix is a beautiful mix. My son, or the father of my children, is from Ghana, West Africa. So they're also mixed. They got the fro and whatever, and I'm always conscious of racism in this space because I feel like, I guess, obviously back when you started, you being the first Sudanese player, there may have possibly been some racism.
Yeah, there was plenty when I was playing.
Yeah. What did you experience?
Oh, look, I remember playing VFL footy, and I guess back then there were not too many people like me were playing football. And even some of the crowd and people sending letters to the club expressing, their thoughts about my ethnicity. But the club were really supportive in that era, making sure I didn't feel isolated, didn't feel like I was, felt any different from other players. But getting back to the topic of Hendrix, I mean, he's he lives in a completely different area than I do. And there's not too many kids that look like him. But I make sure I bring him home a lot so he knows he's both of his mum and me. And just embrace both cultures. I mean, he's only 5, so that concept hasn't developed yet, but he does ask questions, It's like, Dad, you're black, Mum's white. What does that make me? I was like, who told you that? Like, how'd you come up with it? Obviously, you can see, but just tell him you're just both of us,
I do the same. My kids do the same because, and I'm very conscious of not telling them what they are. So I'm very conscious to go, well, Dad's both black. I'm not white, but ethnic, right? And they'll say they're mixed kids, so they say it themselves. And I go, if that's what you feel, because it is part of your identity. You get to choose what, I don't know, I've got this thing about you're putting that on them, like this is what you are. And just in going back in terms of, you were saying that you got a lot of, I guess, racist comments when you were playing footy. How did you cope with it? So it's not so much about, I guess, that AFL was supportive of you, but how did you deal with that?
Look, it was hard at the start, because you just want to resort to violence. But speaking to my coach and sitting down in his office a fair bit and just always reminding me, he's like, you can actually, you can do something about it. You can teach people about your culture. So that's what I started doing. And I guess just the change and the shift and, because our demographics are changing so quick and people need to understand they need to get along. So
definitely.
Yeah.
And tell me more about like you being a father, you being a father. So what do you teach him now, I guess, in terms of resilience?
Look, first thing is not always getting what he wants, having to walk a different route when not going to a shopping center with him because he wants a toy, and it's like, no, you can't, you just can't have it all the time. And slowly starting by, got to get back, got to go. You have to go to bed on time. When he has a tantrum, maybe leave him for a little bit, let him sort it out himself. But now that he's playing footy, he's going to school, just be kind to other people, and if other kids are picking on you, just maybe just ignore it or whatever. I don't know, because it's hard when he's 5. Not spending time on the iPad for too long, just taking that away from him.
Such a balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a hard one. And if he, so let's say he goes to school and he experiences bullying or he experiences something, like how would you get him to deal with that?
Yeah.
Like I know you were saying about ignoring, because I'm in the same boat, right?
Yeah,
It's. I mean, I'm pretty lucky the kids haven't experienced much of that yet. But I'm still trying to work it out.
Well, me too. I think it's I guess come and talk to me first. If something happens at school, let me know, and don't react. But I think it's hard for me to say because I'm not him and I can't control his emotions. But yeah, come talk to me, and then I'll probably teach him about it a bit more. So,
and is that your parenting style? Like, I'm going to let you deal with your battles, or as in, I'll guide you, but I want you to deal with it.
Yeah, just don't react, because I used to react even at school and get suspended and stuff. And my dad was so hard on me. He's like, why did you resort to violence? And I guess that's probably the best way to learn from it. But, yeah.
Were you a cheeky kid?
Yeah. Again, my parents are hard to have.
Did you go to school in Egypt?
Yeah, I went to school in Egypt.
God.
Yeah.
You got whipped?
Yeah. The ruler and
the hands.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, because obviously my background is Egyptian. So the fact that you went to school in Egypt, because I think now it's still pretty crazy.
It is, even back in Sudan, because my dad's background is in teaching, and I was naughty one day in class, and I thought because I'm the principal's son, I would get away with it, but
you were the principal's son?
Yeah. He was a principal in my school.
Did you get it worse?
Yeah, it was hard on us. Yeah. I couldn't get away with it. So.
Wow. Okay. Because then, the criteria, I guess, the standard would be up there.
No favoritism. So.
What'd you think of Egypt?
It was tough. Yeah, it was tough. But I don't know, similar kind of stuff. When you see it now with other countries when they welcome in refugees. There's tensions between the country and migrants. So we experienced that. But there was really nice aspects of Egypt. The food's amazing. Getting to see the pyramids, they're massive. They're huge. I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Do you think the aliens built the pyramids?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. That would have ended this podcast pretty damn quickly. No. Very passionate. I'm a very passionate Egyptians built the pyramids kind of girl. So now, what are you doing with yourself now?
What am I doing? Bits and pieces. I think once I retired, I did go to uni while I was playing and got some types of certificates. I don't have the experience in the workplace, so that's been a challenge. But I do some work with the AFL a few days a week, and then some landscaping a few days of the week, and just trying to find what I want to do next. To be honest, yeah.
Well, you're a man of many talents. You wrote a book as well. Majak is the book.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh, look, that opportunity came through my management, and it sat there for a couple of years, and I thought about it long and hard because I'm just like, I'm not like a Joel Selwood or all these other players. A Brownlow medalist, all Australian. So I felt a little bit inadequate. Am I getting ahead of myself to write a book? But the conversations I was having with my manager and my parents, and said, look, if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to have to be completely honest about everything. And I guess having the opportunity to teach people that I can't reach about mental health, that was a big drive to do it. Yeah, took a while, took a long time, but yeah, it was really therapeutic to reflect, how far I've come in life. So
yeah, definitely. And if you could, like, let's say this podcast went viral, everybody saw it. What is one message you would give the world?
Hey, look, go and look after your mental health. Yeah, you get 10 free sessions. Get a referral from your GP. I don't know, just practice gratitude because you can always get stuck in your own little bubble. But
Gratitude is one of your biggest things.
Yeah.
What is something that you're grateful for?
I like just having a home to live in. Clean water, food in the fridge, a supportive family.
So you're at like just the basics of life.
Yeah, just the basics. Yeah.
I love that, especially with everything that you've gone through, that it is just the small things in life.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah. Do you find that like when you're with your son, you just it just grounds you and you're just like, this is what life is about?
It is, because playing professional sports is really selfish. You miss out on a lot of things, and some family members don't get it. But now that I'm a father, it's not about me anymore. It's just all about him. So that's all that matters.
I love that. I'm honestly like so grateful how vulnerable you've been and how open you've been about all of this. Not just here, but just in general. Like as I said, I'm just so grateful for people like you, because I know my son will have someone like you to look up to, and I can share your story with him. And this is what makes a difference. This is part of, I believe it's part of a legacy. And honestly, Majak, I'm so grateful.
All right, thank you, Shireen.
No, thank you. That's a wrap.
All good?